Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna ask about living abroad to our friend Erland Hafizh Aristofi. So before we start asking some question, let me introduce myself. So my name is Muhammad Syahrul Ramadan with a student ID number 231051215
My name is Dzaki Azharraya with the back of ID number is 439.
So Erland, maybe you can introduce to ourselves.
Okay. Hello everyone. Hello Syahrul. Hello Zaki. My name is Erland Hafizh. You guys can call me Erland. Currently a third year information system student at University of Indonesia.
So Erlan, how are you today? Are you good?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good too. Alhamdulillah. How about you, Zaki?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, you good. So long time no see, Erlan. So let's just start about question about living abroad. So the first question is, what makes you interested in going abroad, Erlan?
Okay. Thank you so much guys for the question. So I think what makes me interested in going abroad is firstly because I think the ability to travel to countries aside from Indonesia. Because maybe for the background itself, I have already traveled to Singapore twice before and also to Riyadh or Mecca once. And I think aside from the Riyadh or Mecca for the Singapore, I think what makes me interesting to going there is basically like just to feel a whole lot of different experience or also like others sceneries or other environment other than like Indonesia. So I think that's the thing that makes me interested.
Okay, that's so interesting. So Indonesian and Singapore, it's a lot different or like that. Okay, let's just go to the next question. So the second question is, in your opinion, what are the main reason people are going abroad?
I think the main reasons that people go abroad is I think I think because they want to travel to another country aside from the country that they live that they were in. Really, especially in my case, it is Indonesia. But I think another reason, I think, is to basically like like the different environment with different um experience other than the countries that they were in. So I think that's the main reason. So I think aside from that is probably because like they want to go for holidays but wants to different kind of experience other than you know other than maybe go to other places but still in the countries that they live. So I think those two reasons.
Yeah, that's a reasonable reason for people want to go abroad in another countries to gain some experience. Okay, let's go to the next question. Number three. What are the advantages of studying abroad compared to in our home country in Indonesia? Like, what is the difference? What is the advantage if we study in another country?
Okay, so I think there are a lot of advantages of studying abroad compared to studying in Indonesia. I think the first one that is most obvious to me is the curriculum itself. I think let's say if we're talking about Singapore, I think they have one of the best curriculum education compared to Indonesia. Basically in the context of let's say in information and technology, because they basically have like the leading university, which is like Nanyang Technological University or NTU. I think that's first because of the curriculum. Second one is I would say like the supportive environment in this context would be like the people that study there, or the people, or the Singaporean people, or maybe like other people that also study there. I think um, one of the advantages of basically like having diverse people in studying abroad is also will also like help you to um will also help you to basically become a person that is basically um basically like basically like befriended with various types of people, and I think will help the likability of basically knowing other people from different backgrounds. I think that would be like those two advantages
Okay.
of basically, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to the next question. If we want to work in another country, what do you think? What skills are important to work in another country? Maybe some excels or some development or something like that.
I think I think the most important one, aside from other skills, is like the communication skills. Well, firstly, because I think no matter how skilled you are in everything that you do, but if you cannot speak well to other people, especially in the country that you are in, I think that will that will be such a waste, right? So I think uh basically how you communicate with people, especially learning how to speak their language. Um, I think that would be like the most important part. But let's say if like communication skills has already uh has already been mastered by everyone, then I think the next important skills would be like the technical skills. In this context, is I think it depends on what you work on that country. So let's say if I work as a plumber in Singapore, then maybe the most important skills aside from communication is like the plumber skills to basically work as a plumber there, right? So yeah, I think that would be like I think those two skills that are very important to basically work in another country.
Okay, that's the two skills if we are want to work in another country. So, in Singapore and Saudi Arabia, there have some many different culture. So, how would you adapt to a new culture in their country, like Singapore or like Saudi Arabia?
Okay, so I think the way that I would adapt to a new culture in different countries would be like firstly is to experience the culture first, right? So I think especially when I went to Singapore or went to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, I didn't do any research about what would be the culture there. So I just like I don't know, I didn't have any research beforehand, and I just experienced the new culture and then like just basically learn it on my own from my experience. So I think, but when let's say experiencing different cultures in these countries, I think the first thing that we should set in mind is that we're in another country and we're a foreigner, right? So we should like say give respect to other people that has this different cultures, right? So yeah, I think that's how I learn and also adapt to a new culture.
All right, that's some good information. Maybe Zaki here wanna ask some question to you about your experience in living abroad. Let's go, Zaki. If you want to ask experience Erland Hafizh Aristofi living abroad, you can ask some question here.
Yes, I think I want to ask Alan. So, if you could live abroad, would you mind living in the country you went to before?
Um, would you mind living in the country you went to before? I think, yeah, of course. I think depending on the country, depending on the country first, but let's say if it's Singapore, maybe it's a yes and no. Firstly, yes, because of um, the place there is very great. I think they're very nice compared to here in Jakarta or in Bekasi. But no, because the living cost there is very expensive compared to here in Indonesia. Most obviously, right? So I think if I would live in Singapore, I think I would first need to have a high stable income or a high stable income from my job first, because then if I don't have one, then it would be a burden for me to live there in Singapore. But let's say if in Saudi Arabia, I think yeah, I would live there, but I don't really know like the economic conditions in Saudi Arabia. I don't know if I mean like it's way cheaper here in Indonesia, but like I think in Saudi Arabia, if I let's say live there, I think it would make me it would be easier for let's say if I want to do some religion related stuffs there, since there's Mecca there in Saudi Arabia. So I think yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah. Okay. So you will live in Saudi Arabia because the easiest way to do your stuff with your religion, yes?
Yeah, I think that's first, and also, but other than like the religion related stuffs, I think the environment and also the place is also great there. And I kind of like, I kind of love the the physical environments there and also the weather, even though like it's way hotter there compared to in Indonesia. But I think there, I mean in Saudi Arabia is way cleaner and also way more you know I think way more better than here in Indonesia.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, next question. What kind of personal growth did you experience after going abroad? Do you feel any difference before you going abroad and the after?
I think yeah, I mean I kind of do because firstly, when let's say after coming back to Singapore, I know like the all of the things in Singapore is very expensive compared to here in Jakarta. So I think my personal growth would be like personal growth after going back from Singapore is like I just need to work hard and also need to have like lots of money just to if I want to go back to Singapore or maybe like let's say want to live there or probably like maybe experience live in another country. And I think like uh that 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 can happen if I don't have like a stable high income job or basically if I don't have much money, right? So yeah, I think that's like the realization that yeah, I need to work hard and I need to have a high income job. But other than that, I would say like um and I think I think that's all I have.
So besides your experience in the others, you experience that the price tag there is so much high compared to here. Okay, so the next question is it difficult to communicate with the locals, maybe in Singapore? Do you have any suggestion for us about how do we communicate with the locals there?
I think it wasn't difficult to talk to the locals there because most of the Singaporeans I met basically speak English. So I think it's very easy to communicate with them. But even if you cannot speak English, I think some portions of Singaporeans also speak Bahasa. So even if you like speak Bahasa to them, they can also still understand you a bit because I think like Singapore and also Malaysia is relatively closer. So they also understand a little bit of Bahasa. But yeah, I think I know there wasn't any difficulty in speaking with the locals.
Okay, that's for Singapore. How about Riyadh?
Riyadh is way more difficult because most people there doesn't understand English because the main language that is used there basically is Arab, right? And yeah, if even so the way I communicate with the locals there is basically like since the purpose that since the purpose I went to Saudi Arabia back then was because of the religion activities. There's this like one of the I would say like one of our tour guides that could speak like Arabians. So they basically help us to talk with the locals using like the local language there.
Okay, so you on the Riyadh is only for religion activities, and you using translator as a bridge to communicate with them. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you. On. Next question is: after going abroad, did you feel any difference about how you talk, or even habits from that country?
Different from my talks, not particularly, but my habits would be like Particularly in Singapore, because in Singapore you are prohibited to basically throw some garbage without in the proper place, right? So I think the habit that changed when after going back to Singapore is the way I basically throw if I let's say have some garbage, then I will have to throw it in the right place at the rubbish can. But since because if you let's say throw a garbage randomly in Singapore, you would be charged for a lot of Singaporean dollars. So I think yeah, that's the habit that I think changed.
Okay. Next question is: do you feel any homesick when you're going abroad, like maybe in Singapore?
Not really, not really, because the last time I went back, I went to Singapore. It was only like for 4 days or for 3 days, so it wasn't that long that could make me homesick to let's say in Indonesia or to my home. Yeah, but yeah, I think there wasn't homesick that I felt like.
Okay, it's only 4 days. So it took
Yeah,
longer when you're going to Riyadh then,
yeah. In Riyadh, I went for like for a week, I think. Yeah.
maybe 2 weeks. Yes. Do you have any challenge or biggest challenge when you're living in another country?
Challenge. I think the obvious challenge basically only exists in Singapore, because in Singapore everything is expensive there. So I couldn't eat I could only eat from 7-Eleven, because on 7-Eleven things are cheaper there rather than like if you eat in normal restaurant, because in normal restaurants the prices would be so much higher. So basically for I think for almost like for 4 days straight, for dinner I always eat from 7-Eleven, and it's some fast food fast food snacks like some burger, something like that, for some hot dogs and yeah, other than stuff.
So you can only eat like from the convenience store in Singapore.
Exactly.
Okay. Maybe Syahrul want to ask some question.
Yeah, I wanna ask some questions to Erland. Uh, do you have any experience you're hoping to gain there, like in Singapore or in Saudi Arabia?
Sorry, what experience?
What like maybe like the culture or working in there?
Oh, I think I'm particularly interested in working there. Basically either in Singapore or in Saudi Arabia, because I think they pay so much higher than, let's say, if I have a job here in Indonesia, right? So yeah, I think that would be great if I could land a job there either in Singapore or in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. So my next question is, what advice would you give to the people who want to go abroad? What preparation before to going abroad?
My preparation would be like my preparation would be first to plan, or to plan like basically what you want to do to the targeted countries that you want. Let's say if you want to Singapore, then you can just list some of the places that you want to visit, and also what time would you go there, basically like the itinerary, if you want to go to Singapore. And that's first. Second one is make sure to basically check your budget, and basically like align them with the itinerary that you have prepared before. So you got to make sure that your money is enough, especially what food would you eat, and all of that stuff. Because let's say if you go to countries that are way expensive, more expensive than Indonesia, then I think you should come up with a plan on what are the things that you will eat, basically if you go there. And I think lastly is, if you can if you could have some time, like maybe 10 minutes of basic just Google search about like the do's and also the don'ts about like what you should do to the countries that you want to visit. I think that would help. That would really help because like let's say if you want to go to Saudi Arabia, then you should know like what is the do's and also the don'ts that what are the things that you can do, like what are the things that you cannot do. Let's say if you want to go to Saudi Arabia, I think that would
Okay.
help really help you. Yeah.
So the next question is, what do you think is the biggest benefit of living abroad? Maybe works maybe some work in there, some how can I say it? Like job opportunity. Yeah, I want to say that. I almost forgot. Maybe we
I
can
think
get the benefit working job experience in another country. Like in Indonesia, it's a suck. What what about the 19 million jobs opportunity? I don't believe it, my
90
friend.
million job.
Hell nah. Fuck. Okay. Answer my cancer, Erland. Let's go.
okay, so I think there's plenty of benefits if you want to live abroad. Especially let's say when the context is in Singapore, I think the jobs there are plenty of jobs there that I know in Singapore, but um I think yeah that could be like one of the benefits because the job opportunity is way better than here in Indonesia. That's first. Second one would be like the government support or basically like the overall environment like from the government support like let's say if you got sick then I think the health insurance there is pretty good compared to Indonesia and also like the public infrastructure if you want to use like some public trains some public transports like trains like buses I think the public infrastructure is way better there compared to in Indonesia so there will be like some plus points that you can use if let's say you are very into public transportations. But yeah, uh I think aside from that is like you can enjoy some really good view, really good places to live. Uh yeah, I think those are the benefits that I can give.
Okay, thank you for the information and for the answer. It makes me happy. So, what the cultural difference do you think stand out the most between our country compared to Singapore and Saudi Arabia?
I think firstly is about the infrastructure there because the infrastructure in Singapore is way better here in Indonesia. And in talking about the overall infrastructure, like let's say the public transport, like the say in hospitals or schools or like let's say like the roads. Other than that, I think those the infrastructure there is way better than here in Indonesia. That's first. Second one would be like the education. The education there in Singapore is very, very good. I think they have some leading top universities and also top high schools that people can study there. And I think aside from, I think it would be like the top two, top two most standout aspects compared to Indonesia.
Okay. So, this is the last question. Let's go. So, if you had a chance to live there, Singapore or Saudi Arabia, would you mind take the chance? And if you want to take the chance, would you mind giving us the reason why would you leave Indonesia for Singapore or Saudi Arabia? Give us the reason.
I think it's 100% yes. I would take that chance like any day because like for for the sole reason of like the government support there is way better here than Indonesia. Um, and also like the opportunities basically like from the job itself, from transport is way better there in Indonesia. And um yeah, I think like the overall things that you can think of is way better there in Indonesia. I think yeah, I think those are the two the two reasons why living there would be so much great than here in Indonesia.
Okay, Erland, thank you so much for the all the answer to our question about living abroad. I sincerely saying thank you to you for your time.
Thank you, Erland.
Thank you,
Thank you for this time.
Erlan. God bless you, Erlan. I hope you
Oh,
uh gain a chance to live in another country. Yeah, let's leave this country.
Yeah, let's go abroad. Let's leave this country.
Let's go. Okay, thank you.
okay.
So that's all
Thank you so
we
much,
can.
guys.
Thank you for the time, Erlan.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank
Maybe
you,
we
Syahrul. Thank you,
can
Zaki.
maybe we can going abroad together if we are rich or we
Sure.
Yeah.
have the chance. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Let's
Okay,
go.
let's
Let's go.
go. Thank you, Erlan. Aristofi.